Do you feel like it doesn't matter what you do, it's not enough, no matter how much you've achieved in the past? Well, if you answered yes, you're not alone. You're probably suffering from imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome makes you feel like you're a fraud despite evidence of success. Despite everything you do, you still feel like you're a fraud. Hi, I'm Marcella from Crank It Up Coaching, and today you are tuned into Soul Fuel Sanctuary, where we talk about self love.
Yeah, and self-love always begins with you. This is Yvette Carrion of Pivot Point Life Coaching and Trainings. So, Marcella, you said imposter syndrome, and a lot of people feel that they are fakes, despite the success, as you said earlier. So,
Mhm.
are there different kinds of imposter syndrome?
Yes, there are. Based upon Dr. Shapiro, there are five types, or five, yeah, five types, but they all fall under imposter syndrome. So, Yvette, do you want to start with the first one?
Oh, yeah. The one we talked about in a previous episode. The perfectionist. The one who thinks that everything has to be done perfect or else. No,
Mhm.
I've not done enough. So it makes them feel doubtful about themselves. They have, they suffer from worry of not being good enough and not doing enough. And if they don't do everything perfectly, it's a failure. That is an imposter syndrome.
Okay, number two is the superhero. So this is a little different. I know we talked about the superwoman syndrome. This is a little different. It's called the superhero, and that person has to go above and beyond in everything that they do, and so they tend to be unhappy because they go to the extreme. In at work and in their relationships, they go to the extreme. And even when they go to the extreme, they feel inadequate. So the harder they try, the more inadequate they feel.
Yeah. And the third is the one who judges their worth by easily coming to how fast they learn and then how much they master their work. And if they need help, they already feel that they're a fraud. And these kinds of imposters, not really imposters, but those who feel this imposter syndrome is called the natural genius. They feel that
Mhm.
they have to be this genius, or else they're fraud, or else they're a failure. And
So the
Marcella,
next
what's next?
the next one is the soloist. And the
Mm,
soloist is a person who feels like they have to do everything themselves. That they and only, or I should say, like, if it was me, I can be the only one who does it and it'll be correct. So therefore, they tend to overwork and they just believe that they're more competent than anybody else. The soloist, I can do it myself. Thank you very much.
that's true. And another is the last but not the least is the expert. The person who thinks that if they are not good enough for not knowing something, then they're a fraud. So this person is someone who judges their worth by how much they know. So they fear, actually their fears of being exposed as not knowing things, as unknowledgeable. Have you come across these kinds of people who feel that they're frauds, even or despite the success that they have
Oh,
reached?
yeah. Yeah, this particular, talking about imposter syndrome, there are so many people who go through imposter syndrome. They're afraid that they're about to be found out, or they believe that their successes is based upon luck or timing, but never themselves.
Mm.
And so why do they feel that way? And I'm asking, why do you feel that way? And sometimes, and it's always this, because I think that every single episode we talk about self-awareness,
Mm.
and so if what we've explained sounds a little like you, my question to you is, why do you feel this way? And a way for you to figure out how to deal with it is take a piece of paper and write all of your successes down, the little ones as well as the big ones. And you will realize that it was you. It was you and not the timing, not luck. It was you that put in the hard work and came up with solution. And yeah, do you have anything to add?
Well, yeah, it's more like you feel, despite your success, you feel that other people overestimate your competence. It's sometimes I think it also the expectations of other people that you feel people expect me to be this and that, and you're already reaching, I mean, you're already working hard, but then you have this thought that people expect so much of you and they're overestimating these expectations, but this competence, this expectation, the job. And it is really so hard because then you, again, without self-awareness, you will feel that you're a failure despite your success. And this is like, I am successful, yet I feel that I don't deserve it. I feel that I am flawed. I feel that this is all fake. That's the imposter syndrome. And there were two women actually who came up with this, who coined this word, because they were two very successful women, and after all reaping the success, all the feats, they came to like, and then what? I still feel like I'm a fraud. And these two women are Suzanne Imes and Pauline Clance. And then actually they felt that they're fakes. And as you said, Marcella, the only way to really, one of the ways to combat imposter syndrome, aside from, being self-aware, and when you're self-aware, you get time to write down all your successes. I think in your book you also wrote something about a success journal where you write your little achievements, because it helps. Sometimes you feel that I'm not good enough, and why am I here? Am I really a good speaker? Am I really the right person to give this lecture? Just open your success journal and see where you have come from where you were before. And that could really affirm tangibly that you are an expert.
Yes, that is really good. Another thing you can do is celebrate. Celebrate. I am a big celebrator. I recommend, and so many people don't celebrate. I have, and maybe I will have something so that you can get it. There's 100 ways to celebrate. So
Mhm.
celebrate your achievements, whether it's big or small. And the more you celebrate, the more you will appreciate your accomplishment. The more you
Yeah.
celebrate, you'll recognize. Yes, yes. And I had a client once who she had imposter syndrome and she got super nervous because her boss wanted her to do a presentation to these high level managers. And of course, right away, she said, she was like, oh my God, I don't know why he chose me. I can't do this. On and on, all of these negative thoughts. And the thing is also that the imposter syndrome will cause you to fail sometimes because you're so hung up on what you can't do that you end up not doing it. But what she did is she ended up doing that success journal, and she started doing some affirmations about who she was. And when it came time, because thank goodness her boss had given her some time to prepare, by the time it she had that presentation, she was prepared, she was confident in her abilities, and it showed, and she ended up getting a standing ovation.
Oh.
So that's so sweet. Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's a good story. Even me personally, I thought that I could, for example, this YouTube. Oh, Marcella, when you invite me, I said, how can I do that? I mean, I don't think I'm good enough. Am I good in public speaking? How can I talk this way in front of the camera? But then again, that imposter syndrome, that to feel that you are flawed, and then just looking back and check again. I like that little celebrations, the journal, success journal, it has helped. I mean, practically speaking, from my own experience, the success journal has helped because it affirms that you know what you know and that you know what you're talking about, because it lets you realize that I'm working on myself, because we are all work in progress.
Yes, we're all a work in progress. And when you said something, it reminded me of something that most of or a lot of the times, I won't say most of the time, but I know in my life, some people can see your potential, just like with this woman, but in my life, some people can see the potential that I can't see in myself. Just like when you shared about joining me on Soul Fuel, you were like, oh, can I do this? But I see the potential and I'm like, "Hey, that is the perfect person, you know?" So
Oh,
that is why people can see, so they ask you to do it. And in that time, you're like, why did they ask me? I'm not qualified. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not the other. But they can see your potential when sometimes you cannot see.